Hi, my name is Dale Maley. In this video we're going to review a project I just finished. It's building a small bridge type yard ornament, and my sister has the largest flower garden in Fairbury, Illinois. Their flower gardens include many different wooden yard ornaments. She often looks for new ornaments to add to her garden, and she buys them fairly cheaply. That's the good news. The bad news is they only last a few years out in the weather. And then usually, after just a couple years, she brings them to me to either repair or to build new ones. Most of the time, I have to build a new one, and I use pressure-treated wood when I build the new one, so it'll last at least 10 years. This year, the project that she brought me was a small wooden bridge from her flower gardens. As you can see in the photograph in the upper right, the vertical posts for the handrails, two of those have come loose. What happens is, whatever kind of wood it is, it's not really like pressure treated and made to last outdoors, and usually the wood will rot, and then any screws or nails will easily pull out after just a couple of years. So it was easier to rebuild a new one out of pressure treated than it was trying to repair this one. So the first thing I do is measure the old yard ornament. Then I enter that into my free drafting program called SketchUp. And here's what the new bridge will look like as I drew it up in SketchUp. It should almost exactly match the old bridge. For the new bridge, I decided to make it using 1-inch thick pressure treated deck boards, and these are actually measure 1-inch thick. And then for the pieces where I need 3/4 inch thick, for like the steps and the handrails, I will plane those down from 1 inch down to 3/4 inch. Then I used the 1-inch thick, so I didn't have to plane that. The 1-inch thick pieces for the main support structure the steps lay onto, and the 8 posts. Since this bridge will be in an outdoors environment, I decided to use deck screws, so I went to my local lumber yard. I really would like to have had number 8 by 1.5 inches long, but they only had number 8 by 1.25 inches. And I'm using a countersink bit on my drill, so I drill the countersink hole first, then I screw in the screw. And if I do that, the 1.25 inches will be long enough for this project. Then on the right hand side, I used a Titebond III, which is really made for exterior applications like this. I built this bridge in my basement woodworking shop, and you can see it here. It's almost done. The only thing left to do is to put the handrail, the top handrail, on the closest side to you in the picture, and then it'll be ready to prime and paint. Now the little bridge is ready to prime and paint. I'm going to use 1 coat of Zinsser's primer, and then I'll use 2 coats of semi-gloss exterior latex paint to finish it. Here's a photograph of the little bridge finished painted, and it's ready to be installed out in the flower gardens. I often use a coffee cup for scale, so people realize how big the bridge is, using the coffee cup to scale the size of the model. I will post a link to a PDF file that has all the dimensions required to build this bridge if you want to build one like it. So in summary, this video explains how to build a small wooden bridge yard ornament. Hopefully it gives you some ideas for your projects. Thanks, and please subscribe.